Hi friends, it's Terri Gaines, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. In this video tutorial, I'm going to share a fun fold card created with the Impressions Abloom dies. The dies are part of a bundle. You can purchase the stamp set and the dies for a 10% savings, or you can purchase the two individually. The stamp set has 17 images. Some of those images can be cut out with the dies. The dies have 25 dies. Along with being able to cut out the images, you have a die that you can put into that outline die and create these beautiful decorative images. You've got all of these floral images along with these two dies. It is so versatile. I'm going to be using the dies as I mentioned. In my previous video, I shared a fun fold card created with the coordinating designer series paper. This is called Floral Impressions. It is 12 by 12. You get two each of these 6 double-sided designs. That fun fold showcases the entire designer series paper length. And this is part of a suite. The suite is called the Floral Impressions. A suite is getting several items with one code number as long as all of those items are currently available. The other items in that suite are these beautiful embellishments. They're strawberry slush and pretty in pink, and they got a gold flex to them. There's 150 of each color, and there's 2 different sizes. I'm going to embellish my card with those, so I'll set those aside. The suite also includes these gold framed cut out tags. There's 6 sheets, 2 each of the 3 different designs. And then it includes this embossing folder. This embossing folder has a beautiful floral subtle design on it. Now the suites and the suites products are on sale through June 30th. When you purchase one, you get the second one 50% off. For example, if you purchase the bundle and on that same order you have the designer series paper, the designer series paper is 50% off. If you purchase the entire suite along with the second entire suite, one of those suites are going to be 50% off. If you add the designer series paper to that, you're going to get the designer series paper 50% off. So just keep that in mind. Now for this fun fold, for this card, I'm going to create the same fun fold, but this time I'm going to use Stampin' Up's two-tone cardstock. Two-tone cardstock is 12 by 12 in size, and it has 2 tones. You have a light color and a dark color on each side. So here I have Pool Party, and here I have the Daffodil Delight. You have a light and a dark color. And then this is just a half a sheet of the Bubble Bath. You got the light and the dark. I'm using these 3 colors, Bubble Bath, Daffodil Delight, and Pool Party. In a sense, I'm actually using 6 colors because I have light side and the dark side. So I have my images cut out ahead of time. I shared that these dies have an outline and the detail. So I cut out some of the flowers in Daffodil Delight, some in the pool or the Bubble Bath, all the greenery in the Pool Party. But let me give you a little bit of tips because I did all of this work ahead of time. I want to share the tips that I did. I hold these together with these transparent sticky notes that I got at the Dollar Tree. I take a paper snips and I take a few sheets and I cut into them to create these little tabs, and then I can pull them off. Then I can put them on here to hold them together so they don't overlap when I run them through my die machine. That's very important. You don't want them to overlap, otherwise you can damage your dies. So I just keep them on here, and then I just put them with all my dies or my dies together, and then next time I want to use it, I can just have that already set up. So that's some of the prep work I did ahead of time. Now I also want to let you know some of these smaller pieces, I put adhesive sheet on the back, all of the centers of the flowers and this stem. And how I did that is Stampin' Up sells adhesive sheets. They are 6 inches by 12 inches. You get 12 sheets in here. I cut it to the same size as my cardstock that I'm going to use. And I did this work ahead of time, but let me try to explain how I did it. So here's my adhesive sheet. Here's my cardstock that I've cut. I got them cut the very same size. I peel off one of these 2-inch tabs. Let's see if I can get that started. Make sure I get the right side started here. And goodness, There we go. I peel off one of those. Pretend I peeled that off. Then I put this here. Let me actually show you. It's probably better if I just bring this in, and I bring my Simply Scoring tool in, peel this edge off. So pretend this one is exposed. I put the non-exposed tabs here. I take my two-tone cardstock or gold foil or any paper that you're using and put that in the corner, get that lined up, and then let it adhere to that adhesive tab. Take that, peel this backing off and that backing off, and adhere it down. So you can see I already did that. So adhesive sheets on the back. So that way when you put this die on the front, run it through, you will have adhesive sheet on the back. I did not do it for the large flowers. I did it for the centers. Those are harder to adhere sometimes. And so that's the prep work I did ahead of time. So let me also share one more thing before we get to the card. So I'm only using these 3 colors. Did you know that Stampin' Up! Has the two-tone cardstock in all of their exclusive colors? I have this chart I created. It's on a blog post that I posted early May. I will include it on the blog post for this card. I created this inventory chart. It has the in colors, all the Stampin' Up! Collections and the basic collections, and you can check if you have the ink pad, the refill, the blends, the cardstock. I included the two-tone cardstock. This way you can take inventory of the colors that you have. Also, I wanted to let you know, Stampin' Up! Sells some of them in assorted packages. If you went to the online store, you're going to see, I think, 6, 7, or 8 of the assorted packages. This is the Weekend Adventures. So it is the two-tone cardstock that coordinates with that designer series paper. This package is the Memories in Bloom. It's the coordinating colors for the Memory in Blooms designer series paper. And so you can get some assorted packages, which is a great way to add a variety of colors into your collection. Okay, let's get back to our card. That's what everybody's here to see, is how do we make this card. So what I'm going to do is put that aside, put all of this aside, and bring in the call it the designer series paper, the two-tone cardstock. I'm going to use the Pool Party. You have the light and the dark. And for scoring this cardstock, it does not matter if you have the light color up or the dark color up at the time you score it. We're going to replace the designer series paper measurements and use two-tone cardstock. So I have my two-tone cardstock here. I have it in my Simply Scoring tool. I'm still going to use the larger end of my stylus, and I'm going to score this at 3 inches. I'm going to score it at 6.5 and at 10.5. Then I'm going to flip it like this and score the other side, because I'm going to be making mountain and valley folds, and I want to burnish both sides of the two-tone cardstock. I also do that for my designer series paper. So I'm going to set that aside. Well, I'm going to keep that out here for a moment. What I'm going to do is show you how we fold this. So the first fold is a mountain fold, valley fold, valley fold. Okay, so I'm going to push that up against the wall. I've just kind of made those creases. Now I'm going to really burnish them by pushing this up to the wall, pushing that up to the wall, and using my finger to crease that. That's going to help me get everything aligned. Now this middle one was a valley fold. I'm going to push that up against the wall, crease it here, push that up against the wall, and crease that here. Then I have that. Now I mentioned it didn't matter if you put the light up or the dark up, because I would want you to look at that. Do I want the light and the dark here and the light on the inside, or do I want to reverse this and have the dark and the light? I'm going to go with the dark on the top and the light on the bottom. So I'm going to just fold that. If you're using designer series paper and it had a direction, you do need to be careful for that. You can't flip that around. Otherwise your images would be upside down. So we have this done. Now, because it's cardstock, we do not need a card base. It is 4 inches in width instead of 4 1/4, but that's totally okay. I'm going to say that's totally okay. We're going to let that one go. We do need 4 decorative panels. What I did was I used one of the dies in the die set. You get a die that's going to cut out a little frame, and then you get the inside, and then you get a die like this. I use this die. I cut 4 of them with basic white, and I stamped 2 of them. I stamped with smoky slate ink, and I used a stamp set called Unbounded Love. I used Happy Birthday and May All Your Wishes Come True. So that is done ahead of time. And then I have 2 blank ones. Okay, so how I'm going to assemble this is I'm going to bring in my silicone craft mat. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to start from the inside of the card and work my way out. Now I'm going to have this one be blank. The one in the center here is blank. That's where I'm going to stamp my inside sentiment. So I'm going to put this one on blank, and we'll decorate it after we get these panels adhered. So I'm going to put this equal spacing top and bottom, and then equal spacing here. Now this one is going to go here, and this one is going to go here. They're going to be sandwiched right in between. This is going to be sandwiched between the front and the back one. So how I'm going to do that is on the back side of this one, I'm going to put some adhesive, and I'm just going to run my adhesive across here. I'm going to take it, place it with the adhesive side up right over this die cut. I'm going to try to get that all lined up so you can't see the one underneath. Then fold this down on top of it. Now that's adhered that for the time being. Now I'm going to put this one here. So now I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of this. And then I'm going to line this up to hide the 2 underneath. Let's see if I can get that. I can kind of see that one peeking on the bottom. There we go. Cover that up. Now it's sandwiched in here. So now I'm going to close this, and now this is like the max. I shouldn't say that. See, I can see a little bit over there, but as long as this image and this image are the same size, when I put this one down, I'm going to cover that one up. That's why you start from the bottom and work your way up. So for this one, the edges hang over just a tad bit over the edge. So what I'm going to do is avoid getting my adhesive right to the edge and just place it like so. Now you can pop these up with dimensionals. And my other sample I'm going to share with you, I did put this one up with dimensionals, but for this card I'm just going to go flat. So here we have our 4 panels attached. Now we're going to decorate. So I'm also going to start from the inside and work my way out. So for the inside one, this is where you're going to sign the card. So what I'm going to do here is just put one of these little flowers here. Now you can use a mini glue dot. You can put your liquid glue on here. I'm just putting some of my Stampin' Seal just right in the center of the flower, and I'm going to attach it here. I have a center. Now this is the light color, and then I cut the center of this flower out with the dark. So I'm going to peel the backing off, and I take that back. I might have used both the dark. This is dark and dark. So you don't really see a contrast here because I didn't use the light color and the dark color there. But I still think that's a nice subtle flower design. So because I did not put adhesive behind the petals, I can take one of my leaves. I can put a mini glue dot on the back of it. Let's find the end here. There we go. And I can take a mini glue dot, put it on just the end of that, and those are super strong. Now I can take this and tuck it underneath the petal here. So there I have that flower. That's just to add a little decoration. This is where I'll sign the card. Now here's going to be a floral design, and I'm going to put this one. I'm going to have a leaf added to that one, and I'm going to put these 2 flowers. So how I'm going to do that is there's adhesive sheet behind this. So I'm going to start at this end and get that adhesive sheet off first. Let's see if I can get that off. Let's see. There we go. Got that off. So I'm peel it that way, get that off. Now I can take this little adhesive tab, pick up this flower, oops, pick up that flower, and then I'm going to pick up this flower. Then I'm going to turn it upside down. You can see I use the light color. This is the dark, or the, let me rephrase that. I use the light side visible and the dark side down here. Now I put a little bit of adhesive. You can also take your mini glue dots and just pick them up off of your paper and place those on your floral image. So you have options on how you add your adhesive. I'm going to just add a little bit more adhesive here. So the stem has the adhesive on it, so I can pick that up, and then I'm going to add that right here. Now I just used some subtle colors. I just wanted a soft design here. Now this leaf, I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the previous one. I'm going to take and just put one mini glue dot, and then I'm going to pick that up. Now I mentioned I'm using subtle colors here. I do have another card I created, the same design. I added more flowers to it, but I used different colors. I used brighter colors of the two-tone cardstock, so I'll share that. So we have that, we have this. Now I'm going to put a floral design here. Did I have all my leaves here? Let's see, one more here. So this one, I'm going to put this flower. I'm going to just put a little bit on the center of the flower. I'm going to have that just right here. I have the center. This one, I did use the light, and I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera. This is the light color, this is the dark color. And then I'm going to take a leaf and add the mini glue dot. So this takes a little time to decorate when you have this many panels and this many floral images, but I think you're gonna like how it final results are. So that's that design. We're gonna close this. For the front, I have the light side of the bubble bath. I have the dark side for the center, and get the backing off of that. I'm going to put that down. And then what I'm going to do is take my bone folder and just curve this one up a little bit, and just get some texture to this one. And then what I'm going to do is set this leaf image down. That's where I'm going to put that. I'm going to put this right here. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to hold this down, and I have that in position. I'm going to put a couple dimensionals just to hold on to that really close together. That's going to hold the greenery down, and it's going to adhere the flower to that. Okay, so there's the outside of the card. We're going to embellish it a little bit with these embellishments here. These are Pretty in Pink, which is a little bit darker than the bubble bath, but they will work out really nicely. I'm just going to take a couple of those and add those on the card. They're a nice embellishment here. Now I have one more flower left. Let me show you what I'm going to do with that. So this card has the panels that open up, and it showcases very nicely on a table or a desk. But let me show you what happens when you open up the card, and it shows this, but this likes to flap open. This is where you're going to sign the card. This is where you're going to sign the card. It kind of wants to flap open. So what I'm going to do is close this, take the flower, put a dimensional behind the flower, and use this flower as a little stopper. It's just going to catch, the two petals are going to catch that tab. You don't want to cover it up too much. It's just enough that you can pick it up, you know, you can get it out underneath. So when the card is showcased on the desk, it's showcasing this part. This piece is not flapping open. And I think it's going to work out really great to put that little stopper there. And I do have one additional leaf we're going to take and add that. And put this one right here. And as I mentioned, this is just subtle colors, kind of like tone on tone with the flowers. We'll put that back in there. And just what a fun way to use your two-tone cardstock and instead of designer series paper. So any of your fun folds that showcase the 12 by 12 designer series paper, you can create it with the two-tone cardstock. So let me show you the other card I created. This is Pretty in Pink. This is Strawberry Slush, Granny Apple Green, and then I use Pool Party. So this is just the same card layout. I popped this one up with dimensionals. I have the little stopper there, but just the same card, but I added some more flowers. I doubled up the light and the dark here, light and the dark leaves, and then I added more here. So just a fun card to create. And I'm just loving that two-tone cardstock. It's going to be very versatile for so many of your paper crafting projects. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. I would love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are interested in any of the product that I shared with you, if you look on the bottom of this, the text portion of this video or the bottom of my blog post, there'll be direct links to my online store. If you do select me as your demonstrator to place your order, I do have some thank you gifts for you. I have a fun fold, a new fun fold each month, and I have a card kit, and I have a card sketch booklet. All the details are in the bottom of my blog post. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate everybody who likes, shares, and comments on them. Take care and happy creating.